Alrighty guys, we're back for some Fiendish aggro, and this is a Baldur's Gate Alchemy brew, but don't worry, for all of my Alchemy videos as of right now, they are 100% bonus videos, so standard isn't going anywhere. I've just been getting my butt handed to me over in standard ranked, so I thought, hey, let me try some Alchemy ranked instead and see if I still get my butt handed to me. Either way, this deck is all about the devils, the demons, the imps, and the tieflings, which is going to be pretty darn cool. Guys, for anyone who does not know, I'm Red Cat, and I play aggro decks, and any decks with red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to you guys. Yeah, what do we got in the build here? We have 4 Tiefling Outcasts, which is apparently a terrific card. Apparently, over here in Alchemy, mono red aggro is pretty good, and the star of the show is apparently Tiefling Outcasts, a 1-drop 1/1 with double team. When a creature with double team attacks, if it's not a token, conjure a duplicate into your hand. Then both of them perpetually lose a double team. Now, this also has other demons, devils, imps, and tieflings you control get +1/+0. So that could be pretty cool. Dropping multiple of these, drawing a couple of these, and dropping like 4 of them early on seems pretty insane, especially if the opponent doesn't remove it right away. Have 4 Kumano faces Kakkazan, of course, a lot of great cards to give that counter on the second ability to. The first ability literally wins us games whenever we're looking for that last point of damage, and you top deck this, it's beautiful, and it happens way more than you'd think too. And of course, etching is amazing as well. We have 4 Undercity Plunders. While it's not an aggressive card, I thought a lot about like what would be sweet to pull back from the grave with Bloodthirsty Adversary. And now this could easily be more removal depending on what you're going up against a lot of. I have no idea what the meta actually looks like over here. I can only imagine it's a bunch of clerics floating about, but I think that having the clerics discard a lot of their cards and then eventually recasting this off a Bloodthirsty Adversary, or even just taking a couple turns in a row to drop Undercity Plunder, can do a lot of damage to your opponent. Not literal damage, but you guys know what I mean. We have 4 big spenders. Of course, the haste is incredible, and it has a pretty decent ability here too. For whenever one or more creatures you control becomes blocked, create a treasure token, and that treasure token ramp can go a long way. It helps us fix our mana for we're literally splashing black in this build, essentially. Not, it's more than a splash, but you guys know what I mean. Sacrifice 2 artifacts, draft a card from Big Spender Spellbook. The spellbook has 16 cards over here. I've never used this ability, and I don't know when that would actually come into play. The only thing I can think of is if the opponent played something and all of your treasure tokens are going to die anyways to whatever they played, then it would be good to go ahead and sacrifice a couple of them and draft something out of the spellbook. Of course, I already talked about the Bloodthirsty Adversaries. We are rocking 4 of them, and you want to kind of think of this as a 5-drop as well, even though you will be playing it out on turn 2 often. We have a single Karlach Raging Tiefling. Now, the specialized ability on this is pretty good, but it's also pretty expensive. You can actually activate this ability from the grave too, which is pretty cool. And in this deck, we're looking at the specializations of red and black. So we got a Tiefling Berserker, which can come back as a first strike haste with 4/4. And whenever it specializes from the grave, return it from your graveyard to the battlefield. It perpetually gains this creature can't block. When this card specializes from any zone, target creature and opponent controls can't block this turn. So that could help us close out matches. Then we're also looking at the black one here, Tiefling Punisher, a first strike haste 4/4. When it specializes from the grave, return it to the graveyard to the battlefield. It perpetually gains this creature can't block. Now that's only, I'm pretty sure that's only if you specialize it from the grave for this creature can't block, by the way. When this card specializes from any zone, you may sacrifice a creature. If you do, you draw 2 cards and each opponent loses 2 life, which could go a long way in a deck like this. We have 2 Mephit's Enthusiasm, a 2-mana sorcery that deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If excess damage was dealt this way, note that excess damage. Then you get a boon with when you cast your next creature spell, it perpetually gets +X+0, where X is the noted number. That's a pretty cool ability and a much more budget-friendly option than something like Molten Impact. But you could totally rock Molten Impact here too and probably be just as satisfied. But I think there's a lot of great creatures that this extra +X+0 could do great on. So we have 3 Traumatic Pranks. So, a 3-mana sorcery, gain control of target creature until end of turn, untap that creature, it perpetually gains haste, this creature can't block, and at the beginning of your upkeep, this creature deals 1 damage to you. This card's terrific, and we actually played with this right when it initially came out, wondering if it was going to be any good, and apparently it is pretty good. So, we have 3 of them. Also, pretty cool card to be able to cast back from the grave off of a Bloodthirsty Adversary as well. We have 3 Ob Nixilis. Where'd Ob Nixilis go, guys? Where, like, seriously, why do we not see this card anymore? Genuine question. What changed in the standard meta to make Ob Nixilis never show up? Isn't that weird? I think it's weird. There must be something that happened that I'm not thinking of, but either way, terrific card, generates devils. It just does a lot. Could have your opponent discarding cards as well. Could gain you life. Of course, Ob Nixilis is just amazing, and I'm just like shocked that we don't see more of it. In our 4-drop spot, we have a couple Kardum, Patron of Flames, a 4-drop 4/3 with haste. Whenever Kardum, Patron of Flames attacks, put a flame counter on it, then seek a card with mana value equal to the number of flame counters on it, and exile that card face down. So the first turn this swings out, it's 1 flame counter. You're going to exile one of your 1-drops, which is either Kumano or Tiefling Outcasts, which is amazing. When Kardum dies, put all cards you own exiled with it into your hand at the beginning of the end step on your next turn. Discard those cards. So you essentially get a turn to play out those cards, which is pretty sweet. The big issue here is exile removal, right? Because it does say dies, not leaves. And so, either way, pretty amazing card. What's a little bit better than Kardum here is Thundering Raiju. Even though it's not a demon, and Kardum is in fact a demon, Thundering Raiju, as we know, can really plug that damage in, and getting modified off of Kumano early on seems to be pretty important. Don't forget Bloodthirsty Adversary can kind of modify itself too. So you're going to have modified creatures on the board at some point, and Raiju just helps us slam in that extra damage. On the very top end, we have Tibalt, Wicked Tormentor, a 5-mana planeswalker with a 3 loyalty. It has a +1 where you get to add double red. Draft a card from the spellbook here, then exile it until end of turn. You may cast that card, and what's in the spellbook? A bunch of devils. Heck yeah, perfect for the build, right? I'm not going to go through all the cards in the spellbook though. Also has the other +1 ability here, where it deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker unless its controller has Tibalt deal 4 damage to them. If they do, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. So nice. Also has a -X here, where you create X 1/1 red devil creature tokens with when this creature dies, deals 1 damage to any target. Very nice. There's a lot of really neat cards that give us devils and stuff. I was really thinking about Play with Fire. I should have put that in the honorable mentions list too, but no Play with Fire this time around. I really want to play with this planeswalker. We also have Raphael, Fiendish Savior, a 5-mana Devil Noble. We have a single one of them. I didn't want too much on the top end here because we only have 24 land. So it's a 4/4 flying. Other demons, devils, imps, and tieflings you control get +1/+1 and lifelink. Holy cow. At the beginning of each end step, if a creature card was put into your graveyard from anywhere this turn, create a 1/1 red devil creature token with when this creature dies, deals 1 damage to any target. Very, very nice. Okay, a lot of power packed into the deck. We do have that whole demon, devil, imp, tiefling thing going on here, but we also just have other amazing cards like Kumano, Bloodthirsty Adversary, and Thundering Raiju. In the mana base, we are rocking a Crucible, 3 Den of the Bugbears. We do have a single Gate of Tumbledown, just in case. Hopefully that doesn't slow us down at all. We have an Abandoned Mire and a Hive of the Eye Tyrant. More honorable mentions, guys. Gutmorn. There's a lot of ways in this build to have our opponents discard. However, this does say whenever a player discards a card during your turn, which means that could also mean when we specialize the Karlach or the Tibalt's ability here too. I didn't want to give the opponent too many cards. Also, it's kind of hard to find room for this. You might be able to drop like a Traumatic Prank for one. I just don't think it's going to do a lot. It is a demon too, which is cool. And then also the Citadel Agent, which just happens to be a really terrific and budget option for a 3-drop, but it's a dwarf cleric, not a demon or anything else. And since we already have like the Bloodthirsty Adversary and everything, in the hasty creature spot, I couldn't find room for this, but it's really good. And then, of course, Burn Down the House would be another honorable mention too if you wanted to fit that in here, but that's going to depend on what the meta looks like. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and take this into some Alchemy rank. This took me forever to go over, and I apologize for that, but either way, let's see how it does. We'll see if we can get right into the first match here, but this is Alchemy, and as far as Baldur's Gate goes, this is the first time I'm playing Alchemy ranked since Baldur's Gate, and so I actually don't know how many people are playing. 18 seconds, honestly, that's not too bad. Like, overall, that's relatively fast. There must be a lot less people playing than Standard, though, as we know. Standard takes just a couple seconds. Good hand. We're gonna wait for... We're gonna not play Kumano this turn, unless we drew, like, yeah, we're gonna not play Kumano. Having the Enthusiasm open for removal is pretty good. And we are going to use it here, it looks like. Yeah, 24 lands total. Now, I just got done recording a mono green aggro build for Standard, and I struggled to see land at 24 land, which was very surprising. The Stormseeker, nice, nice. So our other Enthusiasm is going to take care of that. Okay, we got that Swamp, luckily. We could also Traumatic Prank the Stormseeker. But I think it's just better to get this down. I can't believe we have 3 of our 4 drops in hand. That's crazy. If we top deck a land, though, then this is actually insane. I wonder if it's Raiju over the Patron. I guess it depends what they play here. They got their 4 mana. Reckless Stormseeker, swing in for 3. They have 1 mana open, could be like a Snakeskin Veil or something along those lines. Big Spender, okay. Okay. Yeah, what the heck? That's a pretty good swing. Let's do it. Let's do it. That's a stacked big spender right there. A 6-2. We're swinging. It's sticking, so it probably is like a Snakeskin Veil or something. That's pretty cool. We gotta expect like some form of removal though. Play with Fire, we know wolves like to play with Fire. Tovolar, keep the green open. Could be another land, and then yeah, give Tovolar haste, full swing for 6. Down to 8, and they draw 2 cards here. Whew, brutal. All right, can we get that damage through? We have 8 on the board. We need 1 more damage if we Traumatic Prank the Tovolar. Oh no, Tovolar's a 3/3. What could we draw? We could also go Raiju and plug the extra counter into the Kumano. That's 9. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. We need a land. Land and we win with Raiju. Woo, buddy. Well, we don't know what this is. This could be a Tameo safekeeping, but you know, I say we risk it. Tameo safekeeping could get them up to 15. There's 2 damage coming in. And then that would be enough to save them. That would put them at 1. And then we're probably dead. Okay, it was not a Tameo safekeeping. That was sweet. Our chunky big spender doing things. We got the land right when we needed it. That was awesome. Very good first game up against some werewolves, which, as we know, is no joke, especially in Alchemy where they have that amazing 1-drop wolf. I've been so bad with card names recently. What's their 1-drop wolf in Alchemy? We'll probably see it today, honestly. Okay, these hands have been a little slow. Opponent goes first here. I don't think this is a mulligan hand, though. Kumano? Okay, this might be it. This might be the mono red aggro I was talking about. Apparently it's good over here. Not saying it's not good in standard, but apparently it's like really good over here. From what I've heard. Mano. Okay, I have no idea what the opponent's playing as some kind of, is it aggro or tempo most likely. Okay. We'll get the big spender down. And I'm thinking we try to outpace the Kumanos. Okay, no Fading Hope that time. Drops a Consider, which tells me this is probably... Oh, a Demi-Lich. Okay, that's fun, opponent. That's really fun. So the devil damage doesn't get through if it's exiled with the etching. We have to remember that because the devil says when this creature dies, and of course etching exiles it instead, so something to think about. We still might generate. It depends. If they swing here, then we're swinging on in next turn too. Oh, another big spender. The Ob Nixilis is tempting, though. Just doesn't protect itself well here. I think I'm gonna opt for more damage instead. Yeah, when etching's on the board, the Ob Nixilis just looks a lot worse. Hey, maybe that's why. Well, probably not. Yeah, I was wondering why we don't see Ob Nixilis more. Maybe it's etching. What if it's that simple? That would be hilarious. Okay, they're thinking they can outpace us, and at this rate, it looks like they might be able to. Raiju can come down next turn, but if they play a blue source, then we have to expect like a Jwari or something along those lines. Yeah, they're gonna get a blue source here. Let's hope they just play a creature instead. Oh, they play it on red. Taking out a big spender and probably keeping another Play with Fire or Spikefield Hazard open here. Second Play with Fire takes out both big spenders, making Raiju a lot worse. But still worth playing. I think we can outpace this. I really do. I think so. Big spenders getting exiled. I wonder when we attempt the Ob Nixilis. Gonna depend what we draw here. Mentor's Guidance. Oh, nice. Okay. I wonder if they're looking for more land. Since they played that on their turn, that isn't no, it's a sorcery. Oh. Huh. Strangle my Raiju. Well, I mean, 2 for 1, and those Play with Fires aren't hitting our face. Not too bad. This is anyone's game. Oh, no, it's not. They get to play Demi-Lich for 1 mana. Yeah, never mind. This is definitely leaning towards the opponent at this point. Okay, Tiefling Outcast. Right, so... Yeah, Demi-Lich is a terrifying, guys. Unfortunately, we dump everything onto the board because we're getting low enough. And if you look here, they get to swing with Demi-Lich, then exile up to one target instant or sorcery, copy it, and you may cast the copy. And it looks like they kept Strangle and Play with Fires here. And so, like, I don't see a great way through. So we're going to get blockers down. Yeah, them cleaning up our board and killing Raiju, even though it was... Oh, another Strangle. Oh, no, guys. Yeah, this is super over because they just get to go ahead, take out that Outcast right now, and 8 damage to the face. Wow, that was a cool Is It build, dude. Nice. Good game. Very good game. That's scary stuff, guys. Demi-Lich doing a lot over there. That was sweet. I think, like, in that sorcery speed draw card, I think that used to be 3 mana, but it looked like they made it 2 mana for Alchemy, right? Or am I crazy? I should have looked at that card again to double check. Either way, a couple fun games over here in Alchemy. So that's good news. I think our deck is getting a little bit held up on the 3 and 4 drops so far, but we'll see if that holds up because we have 8 1-drops and like half of our deck is 2 drops. So like I don't think we're gonna get held up that much. Well, don't speak too soon, I suppose. We'll keep this. I don't think this is a mulligan hand by any means. At least we go first here. That could be really good. Kumano. Undercity Plunder. Let's see if they discard the 2 or give us a card. If they give us a land, that's 100% okay. Okay, life gain. Yeah, we gotta... Okay, I guess we gotta win right now. Let's see. A second white source into a... into that amazing cleric. Okay. Oh, wow. Wow, that is a lot of moon dancers you had there, opponent. All right, Ob Nixilis. It's a little bit awkward, buddy, because we're not seeing our 1s and our 2s, but this is 100% okay. We'll see if they end up gaining life this turn. If not, we can successfully block Moon Dancer and take it out. Yeah, Ob Nixilis has been a little bit awkward. We don't have too many creatures that we want to sacrifice to it anyways. But there's definitely enough to say, okay, like especially like our Tiefling Outcasts if they're all buffing themselves. So, okay. Oh yeah, there were alchemy changes, guys. The Cabaretti Revels has double red in it now, which is cool. Seems like a decent balance overall. Dramatic Prank could be amazing for Moon Dancer. Play this on red because we got a lot of red cards. Start with the plus here. See what they do. Take the 2. Makes sense to me. An early Traumatic Prank seems a lot better than just playing one of our 4 drops because it can't block then. We get extra damage through and every turn it's going to be pinging them for 1. Just like that little bit of extra damage. Like doing that as soon as possible. Seems much better than holding that back and just playing one of our 4 drops instead. Speaking of 4 drops, okay, here we go, here we go. Innkeeper. Yeah, gain. This is going to be a 4/4 that can't block though, huh? That's still neat, I guess. Our Ob Nixilis is a goner, but at least we're not taking damage. They have one treasure open from the Innkeeper, which means they could still play a 1-drop here. Maybe they do swing at our face. Oh, they got their Lunarch Veteran. Luckily, they don't get anything off the Revels there. Moondancer's a 5/5. Yep. Ob Nixilis is out of here. Okay, how can we get that excess damage through? This is a perfect example of if I would have actually added the Play with Fires, it would be terrific here. Right, so they don't want to block the Devil by any means. Raiju, I don't think they want to block with any of these creatures. We could definitely get damage through. The problem is they get to gain so much next turn. I'm going to go Raiju here. Gets that extra counter. We get to plug his counter onto the Devil. And they probably just take it. No! Oh, okay. Oh my goodness. I almost had a heart attack. Like it was about to look really good for us. Take out the Overseer. Ping the Innkeeper. Oh, Inquisition Captain grabs a Lunarch off the Revels, gains a bunch of life, and let's see what they hit off the Captain here, because it could be something simple, guys. It could be like a Brutal Cathar. Just grab the Raiju. They gain 3 more life. Moondancer's up to 10. Oh no, guys. Oh no. Yeah, Skyclave Apparition, and that is going to completely take us out of this game. Because they're gaining way too much. Next turn, it could just be like another Inquisitor Captain. Yeah. Yeah, so far, Ob Nixilis has been chunky, huh? Chunky. Now, something cool, though, is you could sacrifice the Kardum after a couple turns of swinging with it. Ob Nixilis could come down with that copy at 4 from the Kardum. And then you have that ability, too, because it died. Yeah, full swing. I don't think they got to worry too much here. Don't think they got to worry too much here. We'll go ahead and play it out, though, and swing on in. Yeah, these cleric... Oh, Tiefling Outcasts. That would be nice to see one of these days. Drop the good game. Let's let them swing on in here, guys. Good game. Yeah, we plugged a ton of damage in, though. I suppose one of the things that I did early on, I got pretty greedy with the Traumatic Prank, and then the opponent started to really pop off. Maybe it would have been better to attempt to take a big old chunky Moondancer, but I think we had to kill them as soon as possible either way, so... Yeah, we'll let them swing in, because there's always that one quest where you gotta attack with creatures. And whenever you have a big wide board state, opponents never let you do that. So it actually takes a while to get the attacks with creatures quest done. They're gaining a bunch, though. Watch them only swing with Moondancer after I said that about the quest. Nah, there you go. Alright, into the next game. The games have been pretty fast so far. The Alchemy meta is pretty terrifying. I know that I think a majority of it is the clerics, and that would be Naya clerics, but I believe there's still the Orzhov clerics over here too. Don't quote me on that though. I don't know. Definitely don't play enough Alchemy. It's fun though. It's too bad. Too bad more people don't play it. There is that one criticism where there's like too many powerful cards, and that's true. Like there's so many cards that I'm just like, man, this is really good. Why doesn't anyone play with this? And it's just like, oh, because in Alchemy, you gotta think of everything a little bit differently. Over here in Alchemy, the power levels are different. Both dropped our den. Let's go ahead and plunder. Have our Traumatic Prank open. I think it's going to be a similar concept to if we do the prank early, depending on what deck we're up against, it should be pretty good, pinging that extra damage through all the time. Hey, we got a Tiefling Outcast from them. This is probably mono red. Sweet. Big spender. Very nice. All right. We could prank the spender, but I think we just Outcasts and Kumano this turn, because the sooner we get to start swinging with the Outcasts, the better. And what we could do is we can Traumatic Prank next turn, because they're probably going to continue to swing in. This would be a terrible block for us when we have the chance of... Okay, Molten Impact, yep. Another Traumatic Prank. That is just... That's a shame, but yeah. No, we'll take this. We don't care too much. We don't care too much about the second ability here, and I'd rather recast the Traumatic Prank next turn off the adversary. We'll still get that counter anyways. Yeah, for some reason, our deck is running a lot of the same cards, but it just feels a little slower, doesn't it? Just a little bit, though. We probably don't die next turn, but we could if they have Raiju. Could be an Undercity Plunder, but we're going for that damage here. And we're making it so that they can't block, too. Discard our hand and draw 2. Okay. We're going to take that action because we have a lot of 4-drops that could be much better than just another Traumatic Prank. So this is anyone's game. Anyone's game. Got pretty decent cards. A Traumatic Prank. Kill the etching. Anyone's game, like I said. Do they discard their hand? Down to 3. Resolve. Wait, we have Den of the Bugbear open, though. Well, either way. Either way, it is over. Yeah, good game, opponent. End the turn, and this deals damage to them and finishes up the job. Very nice, guys. We got a little lucky there, I'd say. Our deck does feel just a little bit slower than the mono red aggro that we're seeing. I do think we got lucky there. 50% total win rate so far with the build. I like it. It's good. I think in the final thoughts, we're going to talk more about Ob Nixilis, a card that I'm shocked we don't see more of, but it feels a little clunky in this particular build. That being said, it's a pretty terrific Planeswalker, and it definitely takes a little bit of attention off of your face, too. I don't care that we don't have a black source in this hand. This is a great hand. Right, we get to play Kumano and the Outcast this turn. Well, if Outcast doesn't die here, of course. Let's do it. Let's do it. Tiefling Outcast. Kumano. At this point, they think we're playing mono red, so we'll see. Probably have Horde of Dragonkind. We're up against dragons? Okay. Okay, well, let's get that big spender down. Big damage here. Next turn, this turns into Etching of Kumano, and we gotta hope that they don't just go right into, like, a Town Raiser that blocks the Outcasts really well. Here's some Whelp. They might need another Chump blocker. They don't play one. This must be removal then. It must be. Doesn't stop us from attempting our removal. Also, oh, it has to be removal. Has to be. There's no way that big spender survives. Okay, Frostbite. Okay, do they have another Frostbite? No, 6 damage coming on through. The Enthusiasm has 3 on it. So our Bloodthirsty Adversary could drop down as a 5/2 hasty creature. They have 5 mana open. Goldspan could slam onto the board, swing in, and have enough open for like a Cinderclasm. that would take out both Outcasts and leave us only with an Etching, but then we still have our Hasty Creature too, so... A Traumatic Prank on a Goldspan Dragon would be cool too. Shatterskull the Outcasts, and that is game. GG guys, holy cow. 60% win rate now, and we didn't get to see any of the Rakdos side of this deck, but that's okay. That gives us enough time for another match, which is sweet. It's nice to actually win some games once in a while, I'll tell you guys what. Yeah, I think the best deck I've made recently was my Is It build for, man, like I said, I've been so bad with card names recently. Oh, my Poppet Stitcher. That was a pretty solid one. I'd consider ranking up with that if I actually enjoyed the climb from Platinum to Diamond and such. I don't like the mana here at all, but it's an okay hand. The opponent does go first too, so we might draw an open red source. Nice, okay, sweet. Get those Outcasts down as soon as possible and hope it just doesn't eat removal right away. Well, Fateful Absence could be open here, and whatever else removal is in Alchemy as well. I'm not going to cast the other Outcasts. We're going to go Big Spender. Feels like removal. Oh, could be Jwari too. Maybe we should have swung and went Outcasts, because that would have gotten around a Jwari. Nice. Callum Jin Emperor. Okay, that taps it down and puts like a copy. Yeah. Pretty cool card. I don't get to see it often, so I'm going to try to read it as the match is going here. Oh! What? Oh no, we got like some kind of combo build or something? Well, I gotta kill that probably. Yeah. Yeah, we gotta kill that. And I am gonna play this for extra damage and hope that we don't get a board wipe next turn. Whereas if we were anticipating a board wipe, Kumano would have been better. Miss a land drop? Alright, I'm gonna try the Raiju. I'm gonna try to close this out. I feel like this is probably removal though, but they'd want to remove Raiju, and then we still have 8 damage from our Devils and Tieflings. Tap down the Raiju. Oh, the good news is, it's not removal. The bad news is, I feel like this isn't going to hold up for long. We still have 1 mana open here. Which could be, what is it? It's like Fragment Reality or something. March of the Otherworldly Light. Nice. That's a lot less damage to the opponent's face, which keeps them in this game. And I'm assuming they're not going to miss their 4th land now. They are missing their 4th land. That kind of sucks, honestly. Gate. Okay. We'll get the Den ready. Yeah, if this was an untapped land, so that's something to think about. If this was just a mountain, we could have gone right for the Bloodthirsty Adversary play. At this point, we just get all the haste down anyways. And yeah, GG opponent. GG. Yeah, we had the 1 damage from the Kumano as well, and we're rocking a 66% win rate, which isn't bad. The matches are really, really fast. We're going to try to squeeze 1 more in, but I'm giving that warning right now. If it ends up being a really long one and it's leaning towards the opponent, then we'll just give it to the opponent. And that's 100% okay. But I think it's going to be another fast one, honestly. I really wanted to see our top-end fiends, you know? Our fiendish noble, whatever it's called. We didn't get to see that yet. It's not a bad hit. It's okay. It doesn't look like we're gonna get any counters from Kumano, but it's fine. We might draw something too, so. Undercity Plunder. Just get this down as soon as possible. It's not worth playing around the second phase whenever you need to get etching on the board as soon as possible, especially with Exile. Exile effects being super important against mono black. We're gonna Undercity Plunder them so many times this game, it's gonna be awesome. Rock the Deadly Dispute, sure. Treasure. Right up to 5 mana for their Lolth next turn, potentially. They probably discard 2 here. Probably discard 2. What do you guys think? Yep. Yeah, since they were able to draw 2 from the Deadly Dispute. See if it is Lolth. Let's see if I'm right. It is a Midnight Sky. Oh, buddy, I have no idea how we get around that at all. Wow. I literally picked up the wrong card. We don't want to do Bloodthirsty Adversary until we're ready. Yeah, turn 3 Midnight Sky. Now that is terrifying. Hey, a Sorin. That could help us block in the sky quite well, honestly. Same thing here, guys. I'm not playing around that second phase on Kumano. I want to get etching on the board. City Stalker takes the Sorin. No! Oh, crap. Oh, crap, guys. Now we know they have City Stalker. Now I really don't want to save this adversary in my hand. It's not great to just play right now either. All right. It's not looking great. It's not looking great. I'm surprised how well the Shamble Buddy Deadly Dispute just happened to work out there. Very scary. Discard a land. Discard a card. Get rid of a pathway. We'll play our other pathway on red. They full swing. We're gonna take 8 because yeah. Mono black control looking pretty aggressive over there. Pretty scary. Undercity Plunder from the grave is just not as good as a traumatic prank here. Can't block in the sky, but we're forced to block on the ground, so we're actually keeping the adversary back. And I'm expecting them not to have haste here. So we are going to try to get a little bit of damage through. It could easily be a top deck meat hook or anything like that. Removal. I should have kept the etchings. Good game, opponent. Good game. Oh, man. I got greedy with the etchings, but let's be real. Like, were we going to be able to get through this? Because what did we hit off of them? So the Inscription of Ruin still doesn't hit the Midnight Sky, and the best thing we could have gotten was maybe a traumatic prank, but then we really could have needed to keep the adversary on the board to finish out the game with the Midnight Sky and our board state as well. Either way, hey, these were good matches, guys. 57% total win rate up there, and not bad. That's not bad at all. Let's go to the final thoughts. I definitely got some final thoughts on this one involving Ob Nixilis, as I've been saying. So, a few things. It's cool and all that this generates devils. We have that synergy with like Tiefling Outcasts and stuff. What's cool is if you get a couple Tiefling Outcasts going, then their power can get higher fast, and then sacrificing one of them. Sure, it takes that buff away from the rest of your board, but you do get a nice chunky Ob Nixilis to start doing some damage too. It's simple, guys. Drop this to 2 or even 1, and I think you'll be a bit more satisfied. What do you want to add? From what I've seen from the meta, it looks like you want some more removal. I would drop this to 1 or 2 and go up an Enthusiasm or a Molten Impact. I think the Enthusiasm was pretty good there in a couple of those games. I think it was. I think it's actually the reason we won a couple of those games. So I think Enthusiasm would be the way to go, especially if you're playing on a budget as well. The fact that Molten Impact is rare, but the enthusiasm is uncommon. I mean, that's a big difference, you know? I would drop down to 2 Undercity Plunders. I think it's a great card. I think it disrupts the opponent well, but it's not that aggressive, and it doesn't get too much damage through either. And so drop an Ob, drop an Undercity Plunder, and in cases like that last match where the opponent just gets these huge creatures that we don't know exactly how we're going to get rid of, except for like a traumatic prank helping us get that last bit of damage through, then extra removal would be really good as well. Some like an Infernal Grasp or something in Alchemy that acts as removal as well. I think there's like one that I don't know what it's called. Let me see here. Oh, cast down, destroy target non-legendary creature. While that wouldn't have helped us in that particular case in that last match because the Midnight Sky is legendary, this could be a very powerful removal spell. And so going up, like, even just 3 of these could go a long way. And think about how good this would have been against those clerics too. While it couldn't take out the Moon Dancer, we could have taken out a lot of those other cards that were gaining them a ton of life every turn with this too. And so yeah, that's just something to think about, I guess. And for any of you guys, Alchemy players especially, who play a lot more Alchemy, please let me know, what would you add to this build? I think, yeah, finding some form of removal that can actually hit more than what red can hit, you know, hitting cards that are just out of the red zone. Yeah, let me know in the comments, what would you guys change? I do think you still want at least one Ob Nixilis, though. That's something. We saw a lot of our 3 and 4 in the early games, but the second we actually started seeing our 1s and 2s was really when those games picked up and we just saw the absolute aggression. Now, something else, if you do go up like a Cast Down or Infernal Grasp or something, you'd also want to think about Play with Fire as well. Being able to ping our opponent's face while having that option to take out an Innkeeper with a Play with Fire could go a long way, huh? As far as our top end, we didn't get to see the Tibalt or the Fiendish Savior, which really sucks, but it is what it is, you know? And I think they would both be good, but the better card is probably Tibalt. While the Fiendish Savior is just freaking sweet, it gets removed very easily, and so if you wanted the deck to be even more competitive, you could drop this freaking awesome card and awesome artwork, and yeah, like I said, Play with Fire would be really good. Also, Play with Fire works, you can grab it back from the grave with the Adversary, which could be awesome too, so alrighty. Oh, Gate of Tumbledown kind of slowed us down a little bit, but not too bad. And so that's something to think about. There's definitely decks where the gates work a little bit better than other decks. And since this one's aggro, having another tapped land does seem pretty bad. But like sometimes aggro games go into the middle game and then the opponent starts running away with it. Or sometimes you're just looking for that last little bit of damage. And this could find you like a Kumano. Seek a non-land card, activate only once. It could get you there, so I don't know. Something to think about, I guess. Alrighty, guys. Hey, if you made it this far into the video, y'all are champions. I hope you've been enjoying these bonus Alchemy videos every now and then. I know I've been. It's pretty fun. I like it, honestly. Either way, thank you guys for being here, and I will see you in the next video.